Previously on Balls.
Hi, Doc. There we go. We got you. How's it going?
Fine, and you?
All right, thanks. Gee, another fabulous day for South African cricket, eh?
Well, are we alive?
Yes, we are. We are live.
Well, it's more than fabulous. I mean, it's mind-boggling to just evaluate what's been achieved by this cricket team since 2008.
Yeah.
They've been 2008, 2012 now. They've been twice to the United Kingdom, England, twice to Australia, and on all those four occasions, they have won a test series in those respective countries. And that is unprecedented in the history of South African cricket.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's an extraordinary achievement. And I think I read this morning that in the history of Australian cricket, of countries going into Australia and winning two consecutive tours in the Test series, I think it said once was England and once was the West Indies, and we're the third country. So it's quite extraordinary.
It's unbelievable, and I was just sort of thinking this morning, they were making reference to 2008. I watched every ball of that series. I watched pretty much every ball of this series as well. And you can't compare the two because both of them had one common thread, and that is the character and belief of the South African cricket teams of both of those times, because, I mean, we chased down an improbable, if not nearly impossible, target to record the second biggest chase ever last time out when we were in the same venue. And we won the series there. There were just so many moments there like there were here. And remember also, I think Sydney, we almost saved that test as well with Graham's courageous batting performance with a broken hand. There are so many moments from that 2008 series, and there are so many moments from this series that you can't really compare the two, can you?
Well, I think this one, is our best achievement. I'll tell you why. Because, and corresponding with Gary, he acknowledges, as we've all seen, that we haven't played consistently well. There were times we looked as though
How do we lose that?
Strange.
I hope he's not still going on. Telkom lines, I don't know if they just go beep, beep, beep.
Hello?
Hi, Doc. Sorry, the line just cut there. I don't know what happened.
All right.
You were just saying about Gary and,
Yeah, look, he's acknowledged that, there are times when they haven't played well. They haven't played consistently well. But I think the sign of a really outstanding team is when you're not performing 100% all the time. When you get that moment, you go through the finishing post. And I know from my own experience, we were fortunate to win the Currie Cup 5 times in a row in Transvaal. And there were times that we were not the best team, but we'd pull ourselves together, we were at the finishing post, and we'd go through because we knew how to win. I think this is what this team's done, which indicates also the extraordinary resilience and guts and determination and character within this team, because they have not played consistently well, and yet they will leave Australia having beaten them in a test series. It's a phenomenal achievement.
Absolutely phenomenal. And, just so many, you can't single out any individual performances really, because there have been so many. From our bowlers who stepped up this time around, completely outbowled the Australians. Faf du Plessis as...
But again, coming here, the first two test matches are our pace attack, which is regarded as the number one in world cricket, didn't perform as we had expected them to, and as they had expected. But came a moment in Perth, the pitch was better, it was a lot quicker and more bounce. They came to the fore, and we saw what an outstanding bowling combination we have.
And then a guy that we didn't, I know that South African cricket, and kudos to them, kept him here in South Africa when we almost lost him some years ago. He was also going to look at maybe other pastures. And it's now paid off because we didn't even think of him as a regular in the lineup. I know we've had people in the studio that have said that they think Faf should be in the side, and he's come through and put his hand up and now probably made himself a long career as a Test player in this Protea lineup as well, with that knock in Adelaide, but just his general performance on this tour when he's got his chance.
Look, our judgments are often a bit faulty, including myself, but I've always seen him as potentially a very top player, because if you watch him play, his head's over the ball, full face of the bat, And what he showed you is extraordinary big match temperament with guts and the power to concentrate for hour after hour. He, no question, has got to be in an exciting team, the star of this series in Australia. And I think we're blessed that, we got another superstar around the corner in South African cricket.
Right, AB putting to bed the whole debate about whether he should keep or not. I don't know why that was a debate, because I think AB, when he spoke on this program, wasn't necessarily talking about whether he wanted to keep or not. I think he wants to. It was whether he's playing too much cricket in other forms as well. And kudos to him. He told us on this radio show that he would have to look at giving up one of them, and that might have to be the IPL, which just shows his commitment to South African cricket.
Yeah, I think there'll come a day that he might have to give up the gloves too. All right, it's worked out well now. He is an outstanding, brilliant batsman. He's world class. I got a feel too that down the road, it might be an idea still for him to go to backward point because he's a brilliant fielder. And the day will come when he'll captain South Africa, and you can't captain, you can't be an outstanding batsman, and you can't keep wicket as well.
All right, Doc. I just want to, and obviously one of the key moments, and it was a beautiful moment. I think just sitting watching, as sad as it was, Ricky Ponting, and just how that all unfolded this morning. What the Proteas did for him as well. But I couldn't help thinking while that was happening that Jacques Kallis will probably deserve exactly the same accolades one day when he steps out of the game.
Look, Ricky Ponting has been a great player. But, a few years ago, his test average was about 57, down to 52. So he's a great player, has been a great player, but I think it's important you must know when to depart. And I'm sure Ricky, who's a solid person, will reflect that maybe he left it too late. Because, we've seen that he hasn't performed like he used to be. Jacques Kallis, I don't think will happen. The interesting part is on Wednesday, Sachin Tendulkar now plays the third test match against India and Calcutta. He's also under pressure. He's also not scoring runs like he used to. I just hope the same fate doesn't befall him as we've had with Ricky Ponting, where Jacques has been different because the three of them have been kings of batting in world cricket for many a year. Jacques carries on. I mean, his slip catching is brilliant. His bowling, he still gets the odd wicket. And batting, he is... I watched him play even when he got his 37. He played some unbelievable shots. He's world class and he's remained world class. And I don't think he'll depart from the scene in the very near future.
Now, Doc, you've seen them all play. And I want to ask you, because we've had this debate. I personally think Jacques Kallis is the best cricketer, best sportsman this country has ever produced. And we've had the discussion about, the best cricketer we've ever produced. And a lot of people are saying Jacques. Some of them might not have seen, some of the performances from the earlier days. And I know that Graham, Basil D'Oliveira, the top two, I think, of the century, recently, or some years ago when they had that, they were voted the top two. Where do you put Jacques Kallis in terms of South African cricket all time? Is he the best that we've ever had?
He's the best cricketer we have ever produced, and for simple reason that he's averaging about 57 in Test cricket. Yeah. He's got close to 300 Test wickets. He's a brilliant fielder. You can't argue against those facts. He is the number one cricketer that this country has produced. There can be no question about it. Is he the best batsman? I don't want to get into debate. Graham Pollock was a genius, world class. So was Barry Rich. I don't get in that debate. But when you look, as Brian McMillan said to me recently, I saw him in Cape Town, and I asked him how good he thought Jacques was. He said the best cricket of all time. I said, hey, of all time. That's how he, sees Jacques Kallis. As a batsman, bowler, fielder, they don't come better.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate your time as always, Doc. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks very much,
and have a good holiday season.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we go, Dr. Ali Bacher, joining us on Balls Visual Radio.
This is Balls Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Balls.co.za